friends. How's your spirit? Mine, as swirly as that spin I just took around the kitchen here. I am, well, I'm in a decent spirit, mood, headspace, whatever we want to call it today. Um, I've been sector surfing because y'all know that's what I do, especially when I'm in need of some distraction from my own personal discomfort. Listen, y'all, I'm not going to front. What up, O? I'm Peace. How are you? Oh my God. Nah, he's sitting in here in the other room.
Oh yeah, chilling.
Yes.
I had the jars. I was gonna bring them in.
Hey.
I'll bring them tomorrow.
Okay, cool beans. So what was I saying? Oh, it's been head spinning. So I was in oh, now I remember. Okay, so look, I'm not for the escalation of drama as we've seen it in the social media space at all. Okay, I'm pretty much a cloud watcher for that reason because I don't want to place judgment on anyone either. I recognize that the majority of the stuff that we saw unfold over this past weekend is the result of relationships that have lasted for months, maybe, or years, or however long some of them have been what they are. And so to be witnessing the unraveling of relationships in real time is really, really painful, right? For me, I'm an empath, I'm a mother, I'm someone who cares. Okay. Now, I say all of that as a preface to let me just say this: your drama is a distraction from the discomfort that I live in. So I give you a like. Sometimes I subscribe, and I might even share. But what I'm saying is, I try to keep it all in. I really, really do try to like keep it all just as a spectator kind of thing. So I understand when members of the chat are all kind of like bent out of shape because they hear content creators fussing or complaining about the things that we're witnessing blowing up right now in real time because it's the spectators. And for them, they're really more often than not either interested in one, the content creator, or the subject matter. Not any of the other shit. They don't care about the drama. They don't care who you did it. What did what? They don't. They don't. They're either there for the content creator, the subject matter, or both. It isn't until CCs decide to choose sides and mistreat and so on and so forth that you really have these issues where, in my opinion, that it comes to the forefront in this way. Now, having said that, I have to say, yeah, like if you were calling this a spectator thing, if you happen to get called out from the panel or whatever, then you got to accept that you were out of pocket as a spectator and don't go run into another CC. Whining and complaining, that is. You can roam and watch wherever you choose, but don't go to another CC. Do you know what that so-and-so did to me? They so doggone me. And oh, by the way, do you know that one time, I swear, I can't prove that they was talking about you, but it seems like they was talking about you. Either bring me receipts and names or shut the fuck up. Okay? And even then, why are you bringing it to me? What did you say? What did you do? How did you advocate for me in the situation? Were you an ally or were you just ear hustling to bring me some information? I don't need that in my life. I need peace. I need tranquility. I need rhythm and blues, hip hop, jazz. I need a whole lot of things. But what I don't need is people bringing me information about other motherfuckers. And I don't need people in putting me into some stuff, and I definitely don't need people who know my value, worth, and character turning around and being like, well, I had heard it, but I knew it wasn't true, so I just didn't say nothing. Fuck out of here, bruh. Bye. You ain't Team JP? Respectfully, okay. Don't expect me to ride for you, though. Cause what? At breast? Cause I'm a mother? Cause I'm a ride for mine? Cause when I say I care about my community, you know that to be true. You just recognize that you about to be pushed the fuck out my community, huh? That's what it is. That's what it is. And when you recognize that, you oftentimes want to force someone else or force me into us, empath people, into situations where they have to deal with you. Or where you can say, see, look what I did. Now won't you stay? I'm trying. Why weren't you trying when I wasn't leaving? Why weren't you trying when I wasn't pushing you out of my circle? Why weren't you trying all those other times? Now here's the thing. Over on Facebook, I put this. This is true, and I put it here. To teach love, we got to facilitate, right? Okay. I do not commiserate. If you ever listen to me, if you ever are paying attention to how I move in these spaces, pause. Coffee. Hot coffee. If you pay attention to how I move, not how other people say I move, but if you pay attention to how I move in these spaces, you would recognize and understand I do not commiserate. I will not hesitate to facilitate and educate. Okay? I won't. I don't sit in spaces and try to figure out what I have in common with the next person so that we can bond. I don't sit in spaces and try to figure out what's going on with the next person so I can join them in an experience. I share. I share where I find value or where I can offer something of value. It has nothing to do with this desire to be connected to individuals on the internet. Complete strangers. Uh, you may say that that's generational because there are you guys, I appreciate you, by the way. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube shit. CashApp, buy me a coffee, that shit too. Anyway, hooty hoo. I don't know why that was there, but I just needed to say it. I am autistic as fuck. Anyway, moving on. What I was saying. Okay. You might say that it's generational, right? It might be the changing times or whatever. The beauty is, though, there are enough of us who understand what a real human connection is like still left in the world that we can keep it from completely disintegrating, right? Yet doing so means being able to recognize some of the things that are wrong in the world, being able to pick apart the truths and the lies and the silences and the little things, discernment, right? People say that discernment comes with age, and I disagree. One, I believe we're born with a certain level of discernment. Shout out to Mark Harris because you know, he told a few videos ago we talked about it. Anyway, Mark said that children are too young for us to trust their discernment, and I'm not sure whether or not I disagreed then, wholeheartedly. Um, Yet, what I will say is we don't maintain the tools to recognize and trust their discernment, if that makes sense. I gotta go redo my hair some, y'all. Look at that shit. They didn't all like twist and they didn't all curl, especially in the front. But anyway, um, we let go of our ability to recognize their discernment because we're so caught up in the world. In the beginning, our children are neither in the world nor of the world. They are spectators. So they move what we say off of instinct, yet they can feel the vibe. They can understand a thing, right? We lose that because we get so caught up being in the world and more or less of acting as though we are of it rather than above it or outside of it. Now, see, here's the thing for me. I believe that those who act as though they're above the world are elitist. Those who are willing to move outside of its orbit and or maybe in an opposite rotation, whatever, can gain a different perspective. And so I think that that's one of the things that is necessary. Because if you're above the world, you're looking down on it. Kind of the same way that parents look down on their children, supremacists look down on other people. The so-called healed look down on the hurting. It's that part. People in these spaces would have you believe that you're family in moments and 2, 3, 5, 20, 35 conversations. Somehow they know you better than you know you and your lived existence on this planet. When to find the thing that you have in common, grab onto that. Hold tight. They make you believe that that's the core, that that's the nexus of your being because it's what you all have in common. I'll give you an example. Woo. The crew, well, some folks, let's put it that. It was a bunch of out black folks commiserating over blackness, disrespecting black folks who can't see it their way. It doesn't matter whether or not they had the same arguments on anything else. They were solidified that somehow blackness was the key issue. It's what they'd come together to commiserate over. Really? And we hear in this space a lot about echo chambers, right? Well, I think of echo chambers in this space as commiseration stations. And it's just not somewhere I want to be. So, shout out to everyone who is fully aware that they are Black Americans. Yay. Um, Shout out to the realization that you can get in your feelings no matter how old or young you are, no matter how rich or poor. Words matter. Now learn to be more impeccable with your words and broader in your narrative and understanding. How about that? Yeah. I don't look at the world through just the lens that the world sees me, because that would truly limit me. Look at how many of these panels talk about the badness of blackness, the badness of womanhood, the uselessness of disability, the uselessness of getting older, the irrelevance of motherhood. If I took other people's narratives about the 47 years that I lived on this planet, where would I be? And you say, well, you're just one person, JP. No. How many content creators are there in this space who have a similar background to me, receive similar shit like that? Said in Facebook group or on the Facebook post that um, imitation is not flattery. It's theft of intellectual property. You cannot be a better me, so do not try. Be a better you by doing different daily. I can facilitate, I can educate, I can illuminate, I can enlighten that. You can't pull me apart. You can't take my story and put it on you like some type of Canva overlay and think that shit's gonna motherfucking work. Check out the consequences of your actions thus far. What looks natural to me at 47 did not come naturally. It took hard work, determination, dedication, skill, talent, late nights and early mornings. Many of them. Fuck makes you think at 25 and 32 you can tell me what I can do. Sit your ass down. You don't know me. You don't know my story. YouTube is a highlight reel, baby. And not even really. Honestly, YouTube might be the blooper reel. I just haven't bothered to show you the highlights yet. Nothing in this space has earned that for sure. Maybe the appreciation for the food content. There is that. To all you assholes in the space who keep trying to imply that I am either a crackhead or a reformed crackhead, show me what it is about me that is a crackish tendency. Bitch, y'all strange. So caught up in your games and your nonsense that you haven't figured out that you corral together in spaces of commiseration and miseducation in the midst of times changing. What good are you, boo? Why you asking me what I can do? Or telling me, no less. No. You're gonna want to tell me about your abilities or accomplishments. Maybe even your achievements. Shit, isn't that all the things that I just mentioned? She told me didn't fucking matter. So, where are we at? I don't know. People are strange. They talk about love, and they don't even move as though they like you, or people, or each other, or it's unfortunate that I've been married for almost 27 years. I've been on this planet for almost 47 years. And it took meeting Daniel here in these last 2 years in Tucson, Arizona, to recognize that someone was capable of pouring any kind of love into me. No one had done that. And to be honest, it wasn't actually Daniel. No offense to you, love. Some of the other people when I first got here, after family had done some terrible things, with some cauliflower folks, even. Sort of. Around here, the distinctions get more distinct. See, out east, y'all be thinking everybody that look cauliflower is cauliflower. Out here, you would find out that with a 63% Latin or non-black melanated population, cauliflower people are the minority or a minority. And so the distinction begins to matter. What it was those people. Again, shout out to my very first video that I put on this channel, who gave me, they were the network that I used to be able to speak at the Enough is Enough rally here in Tucson, Arizona in June of 2022. Because after family had done terrible shit and disappointed me, these people just didn't let me fall. They saw something in me that I had begun to lose sight of myself, even though I came out here with the full intention of rebuilding myself. I had a website in 2020. I think after I lost that website was kind of when I was like, you know what? I just can't anymore. Like when the break happened, where my brain and my body didn't want to send an email or another letter or do another thing, another major project, because like I was like other people. There was some people, not everyone, made the same decision when what's the word I'm looking for? Not everyone made the same decision to. Hey, Chia, so glad to see you. Thank you for letting me know about the whatchamacallit, the subscribing and notifications and whatnot. I try to share. Oh yeah, you reminded me. You guys, Tia told me that she was have said this already, but again, thank you, Tia. Make sure you when you hit the subscribe that you hit the all button, the bell, and then you hit all, and then also please hit the notifications on YouTube as well. I know it's irritating. Turn your YouTube notifications on and mute them. When you don't want to be bothered, put it on do not disturb, please. Thank you. It doesn't just help me, it helps other content creators too. Whether they know it or not, and even if they steal what it is I'm saying to you here and then go pretend like it was some new idea that they said somewhere else. It's not. It's just a YouTube truth. If you do it for one, you do it for all. Now, when it comes to subscribing and hitting the bell, you got to do that for each one. Turn your YouTube notifications though. Pop, pop, pop. All right. Thank you. My bad. I just song in my head. Um, Go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain. I think like I in 2020, when the world stopped and there was this break, right? It almost felt like the universe was saying to me, all right, JP, here's your chance. You gotta sit still. Your ass don't never sit still, JP. So now everyone's been forced to sit still. You've been given the means through unemployment, um, which was more than what I was already making. So I could facilitate my basic needs plus purchase the equipment necessary to begin a YouTube, or I'm sorry, to begin to write and all of the things that came with it. You guys, I want to be really specific here, or more, let me back up some. I have and always have had a plan in mind of how this thing needs to work. I remember just a minute ago, I said that after the so some let me put it this way. At some time during that time frame in 2020, I purchased all of the equipment and a website, t-shirt. I went to that rally. I did a couple of other things, right? Um, and then I messed up. While I could financially support bringing out others and allow them to be here as roommates and so on and so forth, and emotionally. Um, I think it was just too many people, too much emotion. I'm not even sure that I should have brought my son out at the time for longer than a month or so because um, kind of like not too long after I purchased all of those things is when the nurse would call the police on me. Um, and that was before my sons came to visit in the summer of 2020, and definitely before I met Daniel. So a part of that is the target mentality. Like when you've been a target of someone else's abuse or neglect, um, you try to find what you did wrong so you won't do it again. And that introspection becomes this vicious cycle. And you do that for enough years and it it spins you out of control. It spins just your thoughts. It's someone else's poison spinning around in your head. And then it takes true family to come along and remind you that it's not you, to pour into you and uplift you, to remind you of your value to them, to yourself, and to others. That someone was trying to take that joy from you because they couldn't create it, they couldn't fake it. They couldn't conceive their own way to achieve it. So they want yours. And they'll take it at any cost. And if they can't take it, they'll take you. So you have to be strong, firm, learn to reestablish boundaries where commiseration is not an option, where neither investigation nor interrogation is an acceptable form of communication. Like when someone's really there for you, the communication is seamless, and it's fluid from year one to year 22. I have wonderful relationships with my father because he's there for me. He pours into me. Family and people in my community who show up and show love in so many ways. Growing up military, you're always required to build your own community. You're moving every 3 to 5 years or so, at least when I was growing up military. And you were the new person. And if you understand how it works in the world, you understand that when you're the new kid on the block, you're a target of interest, period. Now, you're basically in someone else's house, though. So, you've got to, hey, without, hey, or hey. Can't do none of that. You got to, if you just come out with all your G, it's over. If you come out silly, well, that's how they going to see you, you know. So you got to fill out the neighborhood. Listen to how they interact with you. It'll let you know almost in real time what their intentions are. This is for the younger years because you don't have as many cloudy experiences sometimes. The older yous, you got to remove the layers and simply try to hear the words. What are they saying? What aren't they saying? I'm going to hit this bowl one more time, have this water. We're going to be out of here at the 40 and go for at least a 20-minute walk. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. Please, do all the YouTube stuff. If you want to support, it's in the description. Buy me a coffee. JP, the Aspiring Matriarch. Cash App is $perp unicorn. I'm sorry, $purpcorn. I'm working on some other things. I will be, anyway. But let me do this and get my act right. I said all that because I'm going to say this prayer as we go on this walk. And I call it a prayer now, yet at the time it wasn't. Even now it's more of a uh, it's a prayer. It's just a conversation. It's an ask. And sometimes it's really hard to be specific, about your ask, and then everybody tell you to be specific or else. Yet, it's the intent that matters if you ask me. You and the creator can get the rest of the stuff worked out. It's what's in the heart, it seems, that really truly matters. Okay. And the meaning behind the words that you say. I.e. intent. Okay. It's super in the desert right now. So like yesterday, I'm going to put my my hat, and I'll put it on first and then go from there. Um, but excuse me. This was around the time that, yeah, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do as the result of the fibromyalgia diagnosis and um, some of the losses and things that I had experienced. I still had a car, so I can give you a time frame of around 2017. Is when I can remember first beginning to say this. So it would be after the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. It'd be after the bounce back relationship from the loss of Sharif. And so, yeah, this was when I began to say, I need to make a change. So, definitely 2017. And we're in 2022, so 5 years ago. I've been saying it like that long. Um, and like many other people, I remember sometimes and sometimes I don't. You know, again, it's about the intention, not the other stuff, not the acting. Um, but I would very often get into my car, turn on the music for a couple of moments, and the sun's right above me here. So I think pretty much whichever direction I go in, we're just going to be kind of in a sucky lighting situation, you guys. Sorry. Oh, but we're going to do 20 minutes. So we're going to go this way. Or we're going to go the new route. Okay. So um, I would get in my car, turn on the music, and then get underway on my journey. And then at some point, it would come to me, hey, JP, you haven't prayed today, or you haven't had that talk with the Creator. And ta-da, it's the view this morning. Check the time, y'all. Seriously, isn't that a mess? But anyway, so I realized, some point on my little car ride, I'd be like, all right, you haven't prayed. You haven't had a talk with the Creator. I told you. You guys, anyway, another topic later on, maybe. But so I would pray. And it was just as simple as uh, I thank you for waking us up this morning and allowing us to see another beautiful, blessed day. Please guide, bless, and protect us as we go throughout this day. Guide our hands, our hearts, our mouths, our thoughts. Help us to be better parents, partners, providers, leaders, lovers, listeners. To listen more than we speak, to teach more than we criticize. Protect us from our enemies, known and unknown. Either guide their hearts or guide them away from us. We thank you for these trials, tribulations, blessings, and love. We need them all to experience this life. There's a little bit more. Please look after those um, we love on both sides. But basically, the point is, while I know I may be human, I can't see and hear everything. Give me the discernment to recognize as much as this vessel can. And whatever you want of me, I'm willing to do in order to achieve that. And after that, y'all, and this is hindsight here, after that, y'all, DeMario would lose his life, right? And I would consider taking my own. And in the consideration, I was like, nah, man, what are you talking about? You told me you weren't going to give me any more than I could mother handle. What the fuck is we doing out here, y'all? Come on now. Come see about your girl. Come on, mama. Somebody. Come see about your girl. You gonna let this happen to me? Hmm? Why are you letting these thoughts consume me? Me? Nah, Pim. You promised me something else. You fucked up in the game. You think that's how your girl gonna go out? Yo, God, get on your goddamn job today. Oh, sorry, y'all. It's probably just my phone service at the moment. I apologize. But it's like, homie, lover, guard. Did you forget what you had said, my dude? Excuse me, y'all. I'm playing my camera to the side of me now. Don't look up my shirt. So sorry. Oh, okay. So that was when I started all of my arguing with the creator. I'm like, nah, man, you promised me something else. I'm not gonna take this. I'm not taking this L for you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, I really believe that it was kind of like it was kind of like, oh, you think you've been through something here? Okay, there was that, and then later on, after I got out of the hospital, I would go home. I would go back to my sisters and began a Twitter torture campaign against the sitting state senator and the AG in Memphis. And I said then, or I wrote then, that this was a hill that I was willing to die on. Bitch, if I didn't die in February, I need to watch my motherfucking... Oh, they be hearing you. That's all I'm saying. Is they hear what you got going on? And so maybe you do need to be a little bit more specific. I'm sorry, Tia, you're having an equipment failure. Child, I've been there. I got so many equipment failures going on right now. Hey, y'all want to show me some love? It's JP season. Have at it. I ain't going to be mad at all. Besides that, respect the content. Who else going to tell you these ridiculous ass stories about them? Okay, sorry. But so, I realize now that, yeah, well, you said you was going to die on that hill. I did, and I came back, bro, which means I know I have enough time to accomplish the thing that I was sent to do and I asked to be able to do. It seems that I was sent to be in this space to offer something. That part I'm still working on. I suppose to facilitate education, to facilitate the knowledge of self. No matter your walk of life or where you come from, don't mistake the fact that inside of my video it says I'm Black or this is a Black channel. I want you to understand what I've said to other people. I am an American-born Black woman. My existence is political. Shout out to Port City. He put up this video of a young lady who asked a simple question. What have Black people ever done to be seen the way to be treated the way that we are, spoken about the way that we are? Do you know, we survive and we are so resilient that we figured out how to motherfucking thrive even when you put us down. Even when you think you have stomped a bitch out, we will get the fuck up and keep it moving. And we will more often than not pretend like you don't even fucking exist. in the equation of how we got to the point where we were ever down in the first place. That is what we did, baby dolls. We survived. And the more of us who survive as whole and intact and healthy as possible, the more scary the shit becomes. Because then we recognize the power in our voices. And today, y'all, so many young veterans. Do you understand me? There are absolutely young veterans in their 30s and 40s, clean military backgrounds. No prison time, no fucking infractions. You can't call them crazy because you gave them a mental health diagnosis and they go in and get treatment regularly. Shout out to Nico Ortiz. I don't know if that last part is true, but that young man is definitely aware of his PTSD. Okay? The more of those and those who lived in their orbit begin to recognize the power in their voice and take it back, the more that's a problem for the upper and opposing classes. So I do not commiserate. I facilitate every opportunity to educate, especially those who have a lived existence similar to mine. Just as I can recognize veterans who are aware of what's going on with them and in the world on site, I can recognize people in every walk of life that I can get onto a communicative, educational level of understanding. Why can't this space do that? That's the question and answer. That's the question and answer. Because I talk about what's relevant to me, I can't understand what's going on in the rest of the world. Get the fuck out of here. I can't get out of that mind state in order to be able to have conversations. Everything must go back to that at the end of the day. And if it does, is it with a productive point in mind, or simply to deflect from your own disappointments, inability to distinguish yourself from any other being, except by resting on this. Excuse me. That's the problem with imitation. Were I not to put the stamp of blackness on a lot of the things that I say, some cauliflower chick might be out there right now trying to steal all of my information. Now she's got to work a little bit harder to disguise her theft. Some of you trashy black women in this space don't even do that much. At the end of the day, I want you to remember it's the date of transmission. This shit's timestamped. And the experience has happened to me, not you. Can you really fill in a good backstory? Or are you going to have to pay me for that? Are you going to have to cheat? How? Is that what you've been doing? Tearing apart other women? Trying to add pieces to your lying stories? You're trashy ass women. No, I don't name any names because I don't know how many of you there were involved in that ignorant woman spirit play shit. I know that several of you were upset with me because I had a meeting with several content creators and you motherfuckers weren't invited because they at least pretended to see that they cared about the community or that they could understand how my counsel might be valuable. You motherfuckers got offended that someone thought, well, hey, she new to the space. How could she possibly know more than we do? Tried to talk over me, tried to shut me down. You've been trying to prove ever since that you're somehow better than JP. No, bitch. Hmm. No. Solo dolo, I continue to grow. What about you? You got to keep bringing in other motherfuckers. You got to get invested in drama and bullshit. You have to move in terrible ways. And now all of it's coming to light. How disappointing is that for you? Good thing I don't take joy in others' demise the way that you do. Yet, I will continue to hold my disdain in the same way that you've yet to deign to bring yourself into my presence and at least acknowledge your own bullshit. Stop putting it on men. Stop putting it on the company I kept. Stop putting it on the fact that you were afraid to go it alone. You were afraid to do the work. So you just watch from a distance. Still talking points, new video ideas, all that other stuff. That I didn't know. I wasn't worried. That's just the beginning. While you were being trashy copycats of whatever in the world or bending the knee to the social norms of society, I was getting my ass together, raising my own, going to school, running my own business, running a $2 million restaurant for someone else using my understanding of management. And the employees appreciated that more, didn't work out in my favor, yet it let me know that I was on the right track. So, to all you trashy heifers out there, y'all might want to stop now. The feds have always been in this space. Some of you are feds. You admit it live on camera. In the same way that I admit to being the abused wife of a narcissistic veteran. Perhaps that's why you can't support another black woman. Not that I fucking care. Because look at you now. Huddle up in spaces, moving on fear, commiserating. Good luck. Thank you to everybody who went for the walk with me and hung out with me. I have been up since I don't know when. I am going to make something wonderful and delicious to eat. I might try to post it. What up, Mr. Long? How's your spirit? I'm gonna get ready to get off of here. You can hit me on the other side, but I'm gonna make me some breakfast, and then try to figure out what I'm gonna do. Oh, you guys who are in the Facebook group, I'm supposed to be doing at least a can of butter demonstration this afternoon. I think it's at 4:20. If not, I will do it.
because of the weather and the PMS, y'all gonna have to bear with me. But I'll put a notice up if I'm not gonna make it. Okay. So I truly, truly appreciate you. Hit the Facebook group, answer the questions. Mark Harris, if you're out there, I need you to answer the questions. Those of you who are in the Facebook group, get in there and at least interact today, please. I'm serious. When I say I'm standing my ground more and more, I'm kicking people out of all of my spaces, especially the ones that are more intimate than this. I'm not fucking with y'all. If you can't get your act right, you're gonna have to answer questions and prove to me that you're worthy of being in my presence. I don't give a fuck what you call it, but I'm over it. Truly, there are a lot of people in there who I actually care about, and I'm not gonna let you tear them apart. But anyway, outside of that, you guys, keep your spirit up. We'll see you in the streets. Deuces.